Hello and welcome back to Perry Geriatric. You are going to notice I had to do away with the sunglasses and go with actual reading glasses. Um, I haven't been able to read all of the notes that I've prepared, so I'm old. I had to break out the real glasses, and so this one is going to be simple, easy diet, weight, health advice for anyone, everyone, whether you're over 50 or you're young and you're looking to get ahead of the curve. And I want to start this right off with something that really kind of highlights what's going on with the healthcare industry and kind of a little bit, belies what I'm saying, but that's why I'm going for real general advice is in case you don't know, BMI is pretty much garbage. And anyone that's really taking it seriously when speaking to you, and it's based on Scottish Highland soldiers from a very small window of time in the 1860s. Yeah, that's not representative of all genders, of all different types of people. So, yeah, BMI, that's something applied to everyone, but really, yeah, it doesn't work with everyone. So, the first easy step, and I do want to make these easy and simple for everyone, just target what you already know you're doing wrong. Really. My example, I used to eat entire bags of family sized Doritos and frozen Swiss rolls out of the freezer, and I wondered why my stomach hurt. So, easy one, number two, little powdered granulated sugars. Uh, Granulated powders that everyone should stay away from are sugar and salt. Everybody is already getting enough. And this does lead to this. You need to bring your glasses if you have to. You need to read the labels. You want to be healthier. One thing I meant to put right in the front is you can't out exercise a bad diet. So, yeah, you are going to need to start reading the labels of what you're putting into your body versus trying to deal with the effects of it later and working your way up out of a hole. So, yeah, just read the labels, make simple, better choices. You don't have to be dramatic about it. And kind of a cautionary tale, a little bit, is your body will adjust. From my background, I haven't done a 32andMe or whatever, but largely Western European, Irish. I love potatoes in all forms and manifestations. I am trying to avoid carbs, so you would think that does away with the potatoes. Little cheat code I'll just throw in here is frozen potatoes. There's something about resistant starch that makes them better. We can look that up later in another episode, but I do still work them in. You don't have to be a perfectionist with this diet. But yeah, the cautionary tale is your body will adjust. One thing I have been pretty good on is sodium. Besides not having added sugar, I'm also cutting out added or unnecessary sodium. I can't have more than 4 or 5, commercially produced French fries before I kind of hit a salt wall, a salt limit where I don't want any more. I do still, of course, have potatoes in my diet and I do still eat them, but at that level of fast food salt, no, I can't do that anymore. So, like I said, a little bit of a cautionary tale there. Really simple one, don't drink your calories. Whether this means your beer, mixed drinks, or just soda. Remember it. If you're drinking your calories, that's one of the easiest things you can do to target and get rid of. And there's a whole bunch of alternatives and things I can go into later. But next easy one is that slow changes actually are best. It's frustrating when you're trying to lose some weight. I had, 80 pounds I had to get rid of, and it really did take me what I considered a long time to get rid of it. Every single health professional said slow change is best. Yo-yoing is terrible. I still have multiple sizes of jeans that I can't bring myself to get rid of. So, yeah, that's really simple, really easy to do. And like I mentioned before, you can't out exercise a bad diet. And yeah, okay, I'll throw in one more that I learned fairly recently that you hear about and just wonder, like, what's going on with carbs? Why are people obsessed with it? There's something called carb math. And the one way that I look at it is a large portion of people trying to avoid carbs are diabetics. Not all people trying to avoid carbs are diabetics. But if you know any, you know besides salt, the other big, huge thing they're trying to avoid is also sugar. So diabetics don't want sugar, diabetics don't want carbs. Why? Because your body turns carbs into sugars. So when you're reading those labels, like I said earlier in the video, you also want to look at the carbs. And the way this carb math works is you look at the total number. Let's say there's 22 grams of carbs in the whole bag. You look down to what the fiber content is. Let's say it's just 4 grams of fiber. You multiply that by 10 and you get 400. If that number is larger than the 220 of carbs, it's net positive. If you do the math, the net result is positive. So that's what carbs are. Carbs are sugar. People are trying to avoid sugar. And the magic thing in there is the fiber. That's why people go on and on and on about fiber content, even though it's not, technically needed to survive. Life is a lot easier when you're regular and you're obeying, and you're within the limits of this carb math. Believe me, cutting out sugar and salt in whatever form, this is some real low-hanging fruit, and it produces real results. And like I said, not necessarily real fast whiz-bang results, but everybody says that the slow progress is best and most maintainable. So there you go. Simple, easy things that my crusty, grumpy old butt can pass on to you guys. And again, as always, if you enjoy this content, hit the like, subscribe, comment, ask questions, whatever. And we'll see each other again. Thank you.